Happy HBK Wellness Wednesday, everyone. Master T-Tapp trainer Kiona Leah back with you guys again. And this week on our Wellness Wednesday, we are actually talking about something very, very, very T-Tapp specific. So I don't have to remind you guys that I'm also a wellness enthusiast. I was in a conversation last week in the regular T-Tapp tips group about the fat shift. Now this phenomenon is pretty much unique to only T-Tapp. But if you do another form of lymphatic-based exercise, you may be experiencing this as well and not realizing that that is what you are experiencing. So let's talk turkey about what the heck this fat shift is, and then I will talk a little bit about a couple things you can do, and I'll make sure and link a couple of videos at the end of this on YouTube for you guys to look at for some of the other things I'm talking about. So the fat shift, because the T-Tapp method is such a lymphatic workout, this is why we experience this phenomenon in this program, whereas with regular calories in versus calories out, cardio and weightlifting, we don't really experience this nearly as much. What's going on is the workout itself is designed to do two major things. So let's keep this in mind. Part of how the workout is designed so differently than a lot of other things that standard exercise does. First and foremost, the workout is designed to move the lymph through the body. Now, all exercise moves lymph. Don't be fooled. Any movement you make, anytime you contract and expand a muscle, you are using and moving some lymph. But Teresa Tapp developed this workout while mapping the lymphatic system. And again, I've done a couple different talks on the lymph system itself, remembering that it's not just these glands under our throat, but our lymph nodes run throughout the body, and the ductwork that connects them, the tubes that connect them, the lymph vessels, are everywhere, just like your circulatory system. So they all run kind of parallel. And they are moving that lymph, that liquid, through your body all the time. But understanding that and understanding how the lymph moves, it goes out to the extremities, and then as it gets eliminated and needs to be detoxed from the body, it moves back towards the center, towards a large portion of it is in that upper left part of your chest. There's a massive valve here, and about 80% of your lymph will start to empty through this area right through here, and that diaphragmatic release that goes up and down in the chest as we breathe. And ultimately, it goes into the gut, into the GI system, to be eliminated either by the kidneys and through the urinary system, or of course by the intestines and the colon to be eliminated the other direction. What does that mean? That means that as that lymph all gathers from our extremities, from out here, from down here, from our toes, up to our center, into the middle, where does it go? Right through here in the middle. So that is where we suddenly end up with kind of a traffic jam. And any of us who live in these major cities, we certainly are aware of this, right? The further out in the suburbs you are, the traffic's moving along, it's moving along. The closer to the city you get, the more cars pile up, the more, and it slows down and it slows down. So this is what's starting to happen in our body. The workout is so efficient at moving lymph through the body, it kind of traffic jams once it gets to the center, which is so absolutely, completely infuriating. We all go through it. Every single T-Tapper goes through this, especially if you do a boot camp. You have the best of intentions. You were told 4 to 14 days, do the workout every day, and you're going to lose all kinds of sizes and inches and see results. And you've been faithfully doing that. You're on day 3, day 4, day 6, whatever. And you're like, what is all this? It's your fat shift. It's working, it's working, it's working. And I know from almost 20 years of experience in it how frustrating it is. And believe me, after 20 years, you'd think I'd learn. Nope, I don't. I still get frustrated when I do a boot camp and I fat shift. I'm right there with you guys. We are all in this little T-Tapp boat together. Keep going. Use it and learn it as a sign for yourself that you're doing it right and you're getting results. It also can often be a contrast because you've lost and started sculpting out through here. You're seeing that you haven't actually lost here, even if you haven't expanded, but the contrast makes it look that way. So you've got to think of both of those two possibilities. Now, the other piece of the workout that is so unique when we're talking about muscle building in particular is the fact that we use this comprehensive muscle movement, the isometric from origin to insertion type of movement, unlike any weight-bearing exercise where we can't do that because we would damage the insertion joint if we extend it all the way. So because we can do that, we don't build as much muscle bulk. We don't have the thickness in the belly, but we have thicker muscle fibers all the way along. And what happens is as those muscle fibers thicken, they squeeze together, right? Kind of like a ball of yarn. If suddenly your yarn was thicker, but you didn't have a lot more space to put it in, it would push in between, the gaps in between, which is where we actually often have subcutaneous and visceral fat starts to move as well. So now we're pressing things out from in between the muscles out to the surface. One of my favorite, and I was talking to the student about this, one of my favorite live presentations I ever saw T-Tapp do was down in Richmond, and she was like, "It's like a squeegee. It's a squeegee." And she must have said it 3 times. But if you think about a squeegee, there's all this liquid and you run something across it that's pushing everything, things move. I also like to think of a rolling pin, how things will roll out and press away. And my personal favorite, even though I'm not a baker, I just love to eat things that bakers make, is a pastry bag. So anybody who's ever baked or seen Cake Wars or any of those great British baking shows, any of them, what do? They put frosting in that pipette bag and it's puffy. And then what do? They squeeze like this and it comes out. That's exactly what those muscle fibers are doing to that lymph that's running in those tubes and ducts in between the fibers and around the fibers. So that's the other piece of the fat shift that makes a big difference. The workout is working because we want denser muscles and of course we want the lymph to move for us. So then you got to make sure once you get there that you work with your lymph system. Add that extra water, add your hot lemon water in the morning. Help the liver, support the liver, help the gut, move things, help the gallbladder so that you're digesting well, and help support that lymph system itself. Make sure you're well hydrated, make sure you're getting sleep, make sure you're doing your baths, and all the other things that are in so many of those videos that I've already done for you guys. But that is where it's starting when it comes to this workout. So that is our HBK Wellness Wednesday on the fat shift. Very unique, specific to T-Tapp. But do you do another program and you notice this as well? Comment below and make sure and let me know. Always, 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 it means so much to me when you guys like and share and subscribe to all of my channels. It absolutely makes my day every single day when that happens. And in the meantime, I'm Kiona Leah. I want to see you move, live, and thrive. So I'll see you on the next one.